How's it going, everybody? Basically just want to do a video on Saiga rifles and Saiga shotguns. Basically just for excuse me, information that I feel that you need to know as a new owner to these type of weapons. Either one you pick, either the rifle or the shotgun variants, this video is going to be for you. Of course, what I'm going to say is going to be just like what other people had said in other videos. Of course, they're probably going to be a lot nicer than mine, but I had somebody comment on one of my Saiga 223 videos, and basically one said he just bought one and wanted to know if there's anything he shouldn't or needs to know. So I figure I'll go ahead and just make a video again. I know I had made one of these similar before, but I'll just go ahead and redo it. And then basically, instead of just trying to comment to them, I figured I'll just go ahead and make the video. So it's just going to be basic information that I feel you need to know about the gun, why it's in the original configuration, or that it is, minus this one, of course, which has been has some accessories added to it. But basically, of course, when you first get a Saiga rifle or shotgun, it's in a more hunting configuration. Of course, that's why they were able to be imported from Russia, is because it was in a more hunting form. Has a low capacity magazine, has a traditional style of stock, doesn't have a pistol grip, doesn't have muzzle brake, all those what they call assault rifle features. And basically that's how they're able to bring it over into the United States as a hunting, sporting weapon. So basically, if you want to do like what me and other people do, is what they call the conversion, basically bringing it out of that hunting form and into a more military looking form, where you're able to use higher capacity magazines and have adjustable stock and pistol grip and all kinds of other evil features. So basically what you need to do that is what they call the 922R compliance, which you have to have so many US made parts to be compliant. There is a calculator, what they call a 922R calculator on Google. Just type it in, it should be the first thing. It basically gives you a list of parts that the government or the ATF regulates as a part that they would consider either being US or foreign, that they basically feel you can, I'm sorry, excuse me, basically what they say you can change to be US or foreign, which will count. Basically, if you have a foreign selector, safety selector, that doesn't comply with a compliance parts. If you have a US made one, it won't make a difference if it's US or foreign. Some of the parts, just for example, that they include is forends, pistol grip, stocks, magazines count as 3, floor plate, body, and also follower. Other thing is like muzzle brakes, gas piston, just the actual gas piston that's attached to the bolt carrier, that you can change to US made part that they consider. I believe the receiver, of course, is considered or can be a US made part, and also the trigger group can be included as 3 US made parts. So basically, if you want to do a real basic one without doing any, if you don't feel like doing any machining work, which is not a big deal at all, you can do it right at home with basic tools. I did it to a Saiga 410, which, as you can see, I did all the work myself, which I'll show a little bit better later. But you can basically put this furniture on your Saiga, which will basically give you 3 US made parts: the stock, the pistol grip, and the forend. And basically you'll need probably at least 3 more, which you can easily do. Of course, the trigger group you won't be able to, because the way the original is pushed back. You can do something like the magazine. You can have a all US made magazine and you should be plenty compliant. Of course, this is a foreign one. I have the US made one upstairs. I just didn't put it on a gun. But then that way you can do a basic conversion without worrying about doing any kind of machining, and basically you'd have to drill out some rivets and stuff. And there's 2 here, 3 underneath, and a bunch of other few little things. Very easy to do though, but that you can do a basic one. But I highly recommend doing a conversion just for the fact that this particular setup I'm not a big fan of. This is just a temporary setup because it's very unwieldy. It feels really uncomfortable being way back here, the pistol grip. It's one of those things you'd have to feel personally to understand what I mean. But that's for, again, like I said, for those that don't want to get into all the work. But of course you can do the actual real conversion where you can move everything forward, trigger guard forward, pistol grip forward. You can get all those conversion parts from Carolina Shooter Supply. Very great website. They have everything you need to do the conversion. You can do the handguard conversion. Basically, in order to use regular AK platform handguards, there's 2 things you need. One is a new gas tube, because this one doesn't have the retainer on each end for the upper gas tube handguard. And for the lower handguard, you need a lower handguard retainer cap, which they normally you would have to have behind the gas block, but this one is a bolt-on, so you don't have to remove the gas block. It just simply goes over the barrel and bolts on, but you do have to do a little work. You do have to grind down on the top of the barrel a little bit for the bolt to go through to lock into place, there's a great video on YouTube covering that. It's very easy to do. You don't have to worry about grinding too far down, because as far as like hitting the rifling, because there's plenty of metal there. You don't have to grind out that much at all. Just take your time, put the handguard in there first, and then put the retainer on, and not the bolt though, just the retainer cap first, just to kind of give an idea where you need to grind down for the handguard retainer to hold the handguard on. So very easy to do. Again, the gun doesn't have any type of muzzle brake. It's some sort of a shroud over it. Some people were able to grind it off, and there's rifling underneath. Others there wasn't. So that's something you'd have to get professionally done, or you can do it yourself with a threading tool. But personally, I would rather just do it, have a gunsmith do it. They can do it right to make sure the threads aren't going to be crooked, and then that way, if the threads were crooked and you put your muzzle brake on, it will be crooked, and as soon as you go to shoot around, it can hit that muzzle brake and blow it to bits. So that's something you really want to make sure it's dead straight, where it's not going to be obstructing the bore. So that's basically the deal with these Saigas, is that they're an imported Russian-made AK platform that with a little work you can have a really high-end firearm. And of course there's a company called Arsenal, which they do the conversion already for you, and of course they just take it a few notches higher and do a lot better job. Instead of like a bolt-on trigger guard, they'll actually rivet it on, and they'll actually put the muzzle brake on for you. They'll do a new gas block where you can put your cleaning rod underneath, bayonet lug, the whole shebang. But of course you're going to pay the money basically for the work, for them to do it themselves, instead of you saving money by doing it yourself. But of course they do a far better job. But again, if you don't really care about all those little features and just want to be cheaper, this is the way to go. You can enjoy the rifle in its original configuration first, and then eventually do the conversion. And you can save hundreds of dollars compared to an Arsenal. Arsenals, they range from like $800 and on up. So it's a lot of money for an AK platform rifle, where you can buy a really nice AR-15 maybe. So basically, oh, and I did forget to mention, as far as if you want to use traditional AK magazines, you will have to install a bullet guide, which is basically the round will hit that to pop up so it doesn't hit the face of the chamber. So you do have to install that. Another video on YouTube where they basically cover that. Really great information for these guns on YouTube already. Then you will have to usually grind down on the mag catch a little bit too in order for it to lock into place. It's usually, the mag catch is usually more metal up. Basically they're trying to do it so you couldn't easily throw in a regular AK mag. You have to use the lower capacity Saiga mags, which actually now there are aftermarket companies that make Saiga specific magazines just for the Saigas, and they won't work with a regular AK unless with some modification, of course. But they do have higher capacity ones for the guns now. But of course those magazines are more expensive compared to standard AK magazines, and of course you want to have the easy access to AK mags, which are readily available everywhere, dime a dozen. And also if you have a buddy with maybe another, like a Wasser 10 or whatever, you guys can join forces together in a shit the fan situation and swap out mags together instead of having a Saiga specific magazine. So that's another benefit of having the bullet guide conversion and then modifying the mag catch a little bit for these to rock into place. As far as the factory mags that come with the Saigas, the 10 rounders, you can use those after the bullet guide conversion, but you will have to grind down on the front of the mag, which I haven't done it to mine yet. But basically, I mean, if you still want to use it, to me I like it for doing things as far as like sighting in the optics and stuff. So that's just something to think about. So I hope it helps the person out and anybody else that maybe needed some weight shedded off a little bit on this gun and kind of know some information before they buy it. Hopefully it helps them to see if they basically want to go through the process of the conversion, or like I said, you can just do the basic like this, which it's just simple screw on, no modification at all. You just gotta know you gotta get some US made magazines to be legal. But other than that, I mean, I think that should cover just about everything. Again, I know it's not the best video compared to what other people has out there, but oh well. So hope it helps you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a message. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.